Wow. That's quick. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going to be going over the all-new 2022 Hyundai Ioniq 5 in the SEL all-wheel drive package. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Southtown Hyundai here in Utah for giving me some time with this Ioniq 5. Check out their inventory in the description down below. And as of me filming this video, this is available for sale, so if you're interested, reach out to them. Let's get into it. So the new Ioniq 5 is fully electric. The only thing that you really need to know is we have 320 horsepower and we have 256 miles of full electric range, right? That's the important stuff, is the range and how much horsepower it has. And then you guys can see, I love the blue accenting right here. And obviously they do this kind of like in more traditional car fashion by putting so much stuff here under the hood instead of having this like a frunk like a lot of other EVs. So it's kind of interesting, but yeah, that's under the hood. Now let's go over the front end. So first off, the hood itself looks pretty normal. We've got the Hyundai logo there in the center. We got some nice body lines. But once you go down below, this is where things get really video game-y. You guys can see we've got these nice projector bulbs for the headlights themselves. But look at the LED accent lights and just look at like the texturing on them. Pretty crazy. And then you guys can see here with the rest of the front end. And yeah, I don't know, this looks straight out of a video game. It's so cool. Parking sensors here down below. And you know, overall, the front end is, sorry about my shadow there, just very unique. Very, very unique. Now coming on the side here, we've got two 35mm tires wrapped around 19-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see the design on the wheel itself is very intricate. So obviously we have the silver here to kind of lighten things up. And then you have the center, which is all black. And notice it's mostly closed off. That helps out with aerodynamic efficiency, which gives us a better range. We've got the plastic molding here for the fender flare, and just look at, again, the design on it is pretty crazy. And then here off to the side as well. And you guys can see we've got some sharp body lines, definitely interesting. And notice that kind of matches the headlights there at the front. And you guys can see the door handles are popped out, another unique feature. And there's your full side view. It actually looks pretty good. Now you guys can see the key fob here. We have our lock, unlock, opening for the hatch, and then that actually opens up the charging port. But we're gonna do the rear hatch here, so just press that and it'll automatically open up. And you guys can see we've got a bunch of goodies here. So notice we have the floor mat that says Ioniq 5 on it. We have a 12 volt over here off to the side. And underneath all of this, if we pull this little tab right here, if I can get my finger looped through with the glove, there we go. Some extra storage space underneath. And this comes with the charging cables and all that kind of stuff. You guys can see that there in that bag. But storage space back here is actually really good. Anyways, press that. And bada bing, bada boom. Now she's closed. Now let's finish things up here with the rear. First off, I love the general silhouette of it. I think it looks really good. And you guys can see you've got the black trim here. And again, the video game-esque taillights, just look how cool that is. And then you got the light bar kind of continuing there in the center. Ioniq 5 there, and then the Hyundai logo up above. Parking sensors here on the bottom portion. And, well, that's all for the back. Now popping here to the interior, most of this is wrapped up because this car just arrived, but you guys can see really nice padding down below. You're gonna rest your arm, and that continues all along. Got the window control right here. I love the look at the door handle. And then there's more padding here at the top. And then you guys can see the seats here. Look at the perforations with the seats. That's definitely nice. And we'll pop in. Wow, super spacious. Legroom's great. Yeah, headroom's great as well. And then you guys can see just down below here, got a couple of USBs, all that fun stuff. This pulls down to be an armrest and some cup holders. And yeah, let's head to the front. Now here's the door panel at the front. You guys can see again with the padding, and then down below, got all of our window controls right here. We've got our mirror controls as well. You guys can see the mirrors. They do have blind spot monitoring. And then notice Ioniq 5 right there. And then you can see the front seat, really nice with the headrest, and then the perforations down the center portion. And then you guys can see the adjustments on the side of the seat. Pedal layout just down below. And then also got this for the parking brake right here. That's for the rear hatch stability control. Steering wheel is manually adjustable, and look at the paddle shifters. Anyways, there's where we're looking before we pop in. Now here is the steering wheel. You guys can see we've got leather trim all around and interesting texture there with the airbag cover. We've got controls here for the center stack, cruise control, lean keep assist. And then you guys can see over here, we've got, you know, voice command controls, all that kind of stuff. And then we have this for the regen there on the back with the paddle shifters. Turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock. And then you guys can see we've got the drive mode select here on the steering wheel as wheel instead of as well. Get it? Anyways, there's the steering wheel. Now here is the center gauge cluster, and yeah, it's pretty cool, the layout with this. It's actually like part of like a massive screen system, like with the infotainment system. It's pretty unique looking overall for a car. But anyways, you know, it's got normal car stuff where you can scroll through different stuff, so you guys can see with like the radio, for example, which we'll turn off. And then you got the pages button, which you can scroll through different bits of info as well with that. It's pretty straightforward. And then as for the drive modes, we've got our sport, eco, and then normal that you can go between with those. And yeah, overall, I love the layout of the screen. I like how it changes depending on the drive mode. I think that's pretty unique and cool. Now here is the center infotainment system. First off, we'll pop this bad boy into reverse. So you guys can see, got a backup camera with trajectory lines that do turn with the steering wheel, which is nice. Popping it back into park, you guys can see you've got the navigation screen right here, and responsive with the screen is really nice. And then if we press that for the home screen button, you guys can see we can go to like the EV tab, for example. So it'll let us know exactly what happens. Look, it's like on, off. You get 10 extra miles of range if you don't warm up the car. And then notice that we've got heated seats and a heated steering wheel as well. You guys can see that whole setup right here, which is pretty cool. And then also dual zone climate. So, you know, it comes with a bunch of nice features that you kind of expect. We of course have the quiet mode with this. And yeah, overall, really easy to use infotainment system. And again, it looks cool, like with the whole kind of setup. We've got our analog climate controls just down below. We have, again, dual zone climate, and then you can press this button right here, and then that'll pop with the camera again. And then you guys can see down here with the 12 volt and then the USB, and there's some storage space right there as well, which is pretty cool. And then notice it's like just open. We have a couple cup holders right here. We have a wireless phone charger down here, USBs, all that stuff. But again, notice it's like super open. This is like an armrest, but it also doubles as like a center console. So yeah, it's got this interesting open design here. And then look at this here in the vent. This interior just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Glove box as well. Nice padding on the dash and all over. And then just traditional mirror, letter colored headliner, nothing too crazy happening. Except for the texture on this. Let me see if I can get you guys to see this. Texture on it's kind of, it's not popping up on camera, but it's got an interesting texture to it as well. So here's our window sticker for this Ioniq 5. Again, it's an SEL. Most everything is standard equipment that I showed you guys in today's video. Basically stuff like the floor mats are extra. Anyways, total MSRP is $51,440. And again, you guys can see driving range 256 miles. And then I'm sure you guys want to see some of the stuff over here in terms of the battery size and the motor, electric motors and all that kind of stuff. So there's that powertrain info as well. But let's take it out and see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. There's your visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors, which do have blind spot. And then throughout the rest of the rear. And weird shifter thing. Look at this. And then I go into park. So it's not actually like it is a column shifter, but it's not like a traditional one. It's a twisty one. Let's set off. So, setting off in the Ioniq 5. I did not expect this to happen today, to be honest. I literally saw this driving around the block, and I was like, whoa, I gotta go review that. So, here we are. We're in the eco mode right now, which if I punch it in eco mode, it actually accelerates at a really decent pace, just in the eco mode. Yeah, ride quality, really good actually. It's very smooth. It's not noisy. Some electric cars, because you don't have the engine noise, are kind of noisy and obnoxious. This is not the case with this. It's very quiet in here. It actually feels like a luxury vehicle. And you guys can see here with the paddle shifters, that's part of the regen. So if I press it, it'll do tons of regen and it'll basically brake for me. So you can just basically do one pedal driving and use the paddles. It's kind of like a cool feature that Kia and Hyundai do with their paddle systems. It looks like we're good to go. Don't want to get stuck in that traffic line. And we'll actually change drive mode. So again, it's cool, it's on the steering wheel like Ferrari. Ooh, instantly gets, whoa, way punchier and normal. There's a huge difference between eco and normal with this. I'm gonna pop it into sport. And we'll see what happens there. Yeah, and I mean, it's still, it slows at a pretty good pace just by itself, which is pretty interesting. And I can just imagine what people are thinking when they're looking at this car, because this thing looks crazy. It really does just look insane. It's just such a weird car. Wow, that's quick. That is quick. 320 horsepower for an electric car. It moves, and the regen's just, oh. So I can do positive. If you press the plus paddle, it'll coast fully. If you press the minus paddle, right, it'll slow down quite a bit. So that's pretty interesting. Or sorry, it's the opposite, I think. Yeah, it's the opposite. Plus paddle slows it down, minus paddle makes it continue to coast faster. I mixed it up there, sorry about that. Yeah, that kind of, it's fast enough that I have like a little bit of a headache now, which it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. That just means that this thing is quick. It handles great. Wow, this thing is fun. Yeah, the handling on this is great. This is actually a really fun electric car. And they don't do any crazy piped in noise like this. All the sounds that you hear are the sounds that this makes, basically. Wow. So I guess, yeah, we gotta sum things up here with the Ioniq 5. Exterior wise, I like it. It's weird. It is very weird. There is no denying that. It is a very weird looking vehicle, but it's unique. The interior is very nice. Wow, this is incredible. So yeah, exterior is definitely strange. Interior is very nice. Great tech with this. I feel like the pricing is reasonable for everything this has. All-wheel drive, the performance this has. I would rather have this over the Volkswagen ID4. That's for sure. I think this is more unique. Yeah. Wow, this has surprised me. I wasn't planning on reviewing this today, and you know, in terms of an EV around 50 grand, this is great. So if you're looking for a new electric SUV, that person's driving so slow. You got to check this out. And like I said, this one's available for sale. I'm gonna get this video posted, you know, right away. But I would have to say, still, like, just call them right away, because the chances are by the time, even if I get this video posted right away, someone will come and buy it. But yeah, that is the new Ioniq 5. This thing is amazing.